Welcome everyone to Winston-Salem. We have some more App State hockey for you on tap. Tonight's first round playoff game against Stevenson will begin here shortly after we do the national anthem and announce starting lineups. With me is Adam Persico in the booth. How's it going, Adam?
Oh, it's going great, Liam. Very excited to watch some hockey. Very excited for the playoffs to start here. I'm feeling good, feeling confident that we're going to have a good hockey game here tonight.
I can't wait. Certainly last year's loss to Rowan in the first round of the playoffs was a disappointment, but the Mountaineers are looking for more this year. So the refs are coming out here, getting everything started. They're going to forego some proceedings here and get right to the business. Stevenson sporting a 3-4-0-3 record coming into play tonight. Their last two games are both losses. App State sporting a 5-4-0-1 record, losing their last couple games to Liberty. So both teams wanting to get back into winning form. Obviously, it's win or go home tonight. The winner of this game does take on Coastal Carolina tomorrow.
Yeah, and
So
you would think that's a little bit of a favorable matchup for App State because they have seen them already twice this year. I mean, granted, they did split the series 1-1, one win, one loss. But for App State, it is a team you've seen before, a team you know how they play, you know the guys they rely on. But if Stevenson moves on, you're taking a look at a team that you've never seen before. So it's a good opportunity for App State to maybe even make some noise in the playoffs if they can take care of business here tonight.
So our starting goaltenders, we've got number 42, Nick Wilcox in net for the Mountaineers. Number 31, Cunningham in net for the Mustangs. Looks like that top line for the Mountaineers of Chase Arnett, Riley Brady, and Lucas Tremont is starting up front with Ethan Locklear and Cameron Maresco, two freshman defensemen starting on the back end for App State. As we are underway here in Winston-Salem, draw controlled by Locklear for the Mountaineers, and he'll just flip it off the boards where it's held at the point and sent back in behind Wilcox's net. Maresco on it. He'll send it up the boards. Tremont's there to cut it off. Trying to get it out of the zone. He'll circle behind his own net. Throws it off the boards. Brady gives it a chip, and it skips past. And here comes Chase Arnett with speed. He's got Tremont with him if he wants him. Nice pass out front. And the goalie slides into it for the save. That was a good early look there from this top line. App State will keep it in at the point. That's Maresco. He'll try to send it on the ice out front to Arnett. He'll just play it to the corner. Arnett on it again. He'll get to the top of the dot, drop it off from Maresco. Sends it out front. Tremont hacking and whacking. He'll get it behind the cage. Looking for an outlet. Knocked off his stick there. Back down low, it's Brady. He gets stood up in the corner, and Arnett comes through with a big hit. Now here comes Borak the other way for the Mustangs. He'll send it in deep and get a change as Maresco will cut it off and send it up ice for Arnett. We'll get a deflection, and App State can get a change. Sent on net there by Miller, steered to the corner by Cunningham. Now Baker sends it the length of the ice. Won't be touched. They'll wave off icing. Casper with it. Lukowski cuts it off for Stevenson. He throws it right on net, steered away by Wilcox, and now it comes out to neutral ice. Baker back on it for the Mustangs. Pressured there by Asa Rogers. Just giving a bump in the corner. Luke Miller there to cut it off. It's in his skates. Struggling to free it up. Now Miller will leave it for Beck. Beck back to the point. Brandon Miller's shot redirected out front by Asa Rogers. Beck gets it in the corner, throws it off the side of the cage. Rogers back up top. That's Miller. Sends it in. Got another deflection. Went wide. Sam Casper pinches. He'll get it even deeper, but comes back to the point for Luke Miller. Forego the pass and go for the shot, scooped up by Cunningham. 17:55 left here in the first. It's been all App State so far.
Yeah, they came storming out of the gates. They're doing a good job of putting a lot of bodies on the puck inside the corner as well. Over there, you saw all three guys kind of crowding around the puck, putting as many bodies as possible to win possession and keep it in the offensive zone, keep that forecheck rolling.
The draw here to Cunningham's right, controlled by the Mustangs. But on it there is McCabe for the Mountaineers, and it's sent around. Out to neutralize. Johnson's on it, and he'll just chip it back in. Back to neutralize Scruggs for Stevenson. Will send it cross corner. Beatson on it. He'll control. He'll slow it down behind his own net. loses control and gets it taken away. Early opportunity here for Stevenson out front, but nothing comes of it as McCabe breaks it up, and now Patrick Casey will hop on it. He'll play it back for Beatson. Beatson needs to have some urgency here coming through neutral ice. He gets a stick check, manages to stay on the puck and weaves around another guy. Now it's forked on behind the net. And it comes out to neutral ice. McCabe, backhand pass cut off there. And it flips in on Wilcox. He'll cover. So we'll get another stoppage here. 16:49 remaining in the first frame. Draw controlled by App State. Sent around for Iorio. His backhand centering breakout feed is cut off there by the Mustangs. Now Bondgren, just a little heavy on his own stick. And he gets wrestled down. That'll be a penalty call coming here on Stevenson early, as Bondgren was muscled down to the ice when he didn't have the puck. And App State will have a quick chance on the power play here. This draw here will be taken by Chase Arnett. He'll win it back to the point for Tremont. Sends it across for Rogers. Trying to pass it out front. Didn't get through. That goes off a referee there. Back to Rogers. Out front. Locklear's there. And it's slapped out for the clear. As Stevenson kills some time off. It's settled down by Wilcox. And Jason Beck will circle back to collect. He'll drop it off for Rogers. Rogers coming into neutral ice with a head of steam. They're in on sides. Rogers drops it off for Tremont. Tries to go skate the stick. And they can't keep it in as Beck plays it off for Arnett. They'll go back to Beck. His pass to Tremont out of his reach. Now Cunningham will settle it down for his D-man. Here's Arnett. Good move there at the dot. Near side shot shut down by Cunningham. Played along the boards. It's Tremont. He'll drop this off for Beck. Beck will leave it for Arnett. Arnett back to Tremont. Back to Arnett. Cross ice for Rogers. Couldn't find the tape. Goes back around behind the cage. Locklear's got it. Arnett at the point. All the way across for Rogers. He can't handle it. And they'll get a breakout here as Wachowski pushing it ahead for the Mustangs. Well, 12-on-12 battle there. Casey coming back to cut it off for App State. His pass just a little out of reach for Tremont. And Stevenson will cut this down to about 30 seconds left on the App State power play. As Arnett here having a hard time breaking it out. This pass, nobody home, and that'll go for an ice. It'll come all the way back down to the App State defensive zone. Still 24 seconds left on this power play.
And this seems to be a trend that has been happening all year for the Mountaineers. Once they have the puck on the power play in the defensive zone, they kind of panic to move the puck up and kind of look to force the puck up and not really wait for the regroup. I think over there, the Mountaineers need to wait a little bit and kind of bide their time and hold the puck for a little bit before they decide to move it up the ice like that.
This draw won by App State. It's Patrick Casey fumbling with it in his skates. He'll start the breakout. He'll go far side for Richter. He can't handle it cleanly. He'll have to spin away from pressure here. And he's got it off his teammate's skate. And they'll get it in deep. Richter bodies up as it pops out to Brady. He'll turn away. Send it back to the point for Casey. He'll dance around one man as the penalty is killed off or even strength. Out front, quick shot there from Richter. Shut down by Cunningham. That was a good shot from the slot there for the veteran forward. Now it'll be played back in deep by Johnson. Casey, he'll spin away from pressure. Little dish here for Richter. His shot just goes wide. It comes to the point for Brady. He'll send it back in. Miller gives it a hack. Now it's Richter. Sharp angle. Just throwing it to the goal mouth. Nothing doing there. Now here comes Stevenson the other way. As Mongo will just clap this in on Wilcox. He'll get a stick to it. And Richter will collect. Try to break it out here. Held in again by the Mustangs. Richter just barreling through neutral ice. Casey gets stood up at the line. He's on sides. And it'll pop back out to the red line where Johnson's got it. He'll go far side off of Stevenson's stick as Jason Beck will lay chase. Here they come the other way. Weiscott for the Mustangs. He'll get in. Johnson gets on it. They'll send it all the way around. Cummings overskates it. Now Bongren has some speed. He'll get to it. Backhand attempt. Tuck attempt there from Rogers. Shut down and covered by Cunningham. So 13:02 left here in the first. Still mostly pressure from the Mountaineers.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of keeping the puck inside their offensive zone to get the chances, keep on getting the chances. And as soon as it breaks out, they're doing a good job of breaking out through the neutral zone and getting the puck right back in for more chances.
Back here with Rogers right behind him. He wins it right to him. Sharp shot off the draw. Glove down by Cunningham. We'll do it again.
And Cunningham's looks solid to start this game. He seems to be in the right spot, playing the right angles on every shot of the Mountaineers so far.
I'd hope he's a pretty good goalie considering he's the only one dressed for Stevenson tonight. There's no backup. So he's the last line of defense, quite literally, as Casper's shot took a bounce out front, swallowed up again by Cunningham. He was right there to answer the quick shot out front by Beck.
What a save. Simply what a save.
Normally goalies would have to cheat over to make a save like that, but he just had a good push and was right there where he needed to be. Arnett on the draw here. Vermont has it on the wing. Backhand centering feed. Arnett out front, swallowed up again by Cunningham, and they blow it dead, and he didn't have control of it. Arnett not too pleased with that. He thought he might have had another chance at it. Or we'll just redo the draw. Stevenson will do a late exchange of bodies. Arnett wins it back again. Casper hammers when it got a tip. Out front again. Arnett couldn't get to it. Tremont spins away with it in the corner. Out front. Brady stopped again by Cunningham. He's got 14 saves so far. Make that 15 and counting. Only 12:30 left to go. He's been busy early. Arnett tries to step through on the draw. Tremont's shot got caught up in his stick. Brady hammers one, swallowed up again. Now App State and Stevenson will each make changes.
And App State is out shooting Stevenson by 14 shots already, 16-2.
Draw here. Borak gets it out for the Mustangs. Brady comes back to it. That's batted out of the air by his manga. Brady on it. He'll start it up. Shot off a pipe and goes way up into the netting. We'll have another face-off. What was it? Laser beam from Brady there. Just caught a little bit too much iron and went almost up into the ceiling. This is no short roof. So Casey will have the draw for the Mountaineers against Borak of the Mustangs to Cunningham's left. Another offensive zone draw. Casey right off the face-off, glove down and covered again by Cunningham. Same spot. 3 seconds later. Casey gets it over to Richter on the half wall. Casey comes out with it again, tries to toe drag. That gets broken up as Locklear has at the point his shot. Just a little high and wide. Casey gets a leg to it. He'll turn away. He got hit. Body's on the ice. Casey comes away with it again. Trying to do a lot there in the slot. As Locklear comes away with it, he'll just leave it for Richter. Richter wheeling to the top of the high slot area. That shot blocked. He has it again. He'll circle the cage, tries a tuck. Still has it. Far side, nobody home. Locklear crashes in from the point. Casey behind the net. He'll play it off the back of the net. He gets taken down. That'll be another power play for App State. So 11:19 left here in the first period, as we will have a quick timeout, it looks like, for a minute and a half, as Hill will go to the box for the Mustangs, and App State will have their second chance on the power play tonight.
Yeah, and you're going to see more penalties like that from Stevenson if App State continues to sustain this pressure. If they continue to keep the puck down in the zone like that, Stevenson's not going to have a chance to change. They're going to stop moving their legs, and you're going to keep seeing lazy penalties like that. So, I mean, props to App State for tiring out Stevenson and putting in the work in the offensive zone so far early in this game.
As you mentioned, the discrepancy in shots, it's now up to 19-2 in favor of App State. That just shows you how much time they've spent in the offensive zone. I feel like Stevenson hasn't had any sort of meaningful possession or extended possession, have any reasonable chances.
Yeah, I think outside of that one pass into the slot on the penalty kill, Stevenson hasn't had a real chance yet so far in this game. Where App State's had dozens, and honestly, props to Cunningham. He's answered the bell. He's been there on the end of every single one, ready to stop App State. So if I'm Stevenson, I'm stopping by Cunningham. I'm letting him know that he's doing good so far, keeping his head up. I'm letting him know that he's my guy right now, and I'm riding him if I'm Stevenson.
Well, you just think about it. If you keep putting this many shots on net, something's going to get fast.
Right.
The odds are in your favor. Alrighty, they'll do the face-off here to Cunningham's right. Arnett can't control it. He gets tied up. And Locklear will just play it back to the point for Lucas Tremont. They'll go down to the half wall for Beck. Beck surveys the scene, goes all the way around for Rogers. Back up top for Arnett. They'll go over to Tremont. His shot low. And it was kicked out by Cunningham. They'll reset at the point. Arnett again. He'll walk around one man. Backdoor looking for Rogers, and he just couldn't connect. They've been trying that seam pass all night on the power play.
Yeah, and
it hasn't worked yet.
It's
Beck.
there. There's not connecting.
Out front. Shut down again. It's still loose. And it pops out to the point. Beck will come cut it off and keep it in the zone. Hustling around. Here he is. He'll walk out front. Tries to slam it through a guy on the ice. Another chance. Blocker down. Tremont diving in there and just puts it wide.
Wow. 3 saves from Cunningham right there. Wow.
Rogers low looking for a tip. Beck and Rogers tying themselves up in the corner, and Stevenson will get the clear as over a minute now has expired on that penalty.
And what a sequence that was from Cunningham in front of the net, making 3 rapid-fire saves on the rebounds over and over again.
And this is sent all the way back down for Wilcox. He'll just hack at it as Casper will come around to it. About 35 seconds remaining on this App State power play as Patrick Casey will circle his own cage and start the breakout. Weaving into the neutral zone. Sidesteps one. Leaves it for Miller at the line. Scared of getting the puck there as Richter is on it now. Now here's Casey. Looking for a centering feed. Brady whiffs on it and goes down, but Richter comes to clean it up. He'll point it for Casper. Makes a move. Good shot, but goes high. And Brady can't hold it in, as that'll wrap up the second power play for the Mountaineers as we are over halfway through this first period. Now the Mountaineers trying to break it out. They can't quite get a handle on it here into the neutral zone as Richter, that's a knee-to-knee check there if I've ever seen one, and they're going to get a call.
That is a dangerous hit in center ice.
And there we go. Another touch-up, and now the third power play for App State. I mean, you see that in the middle of the ice. Richter going one way, the other guy coming right at him, and he decides to put his knee right on the other guy's knee.
And he's lucky they're only calling it a trip and nothing more. It's only going to be 2 minutes.
So App State right back on the power play. 9:01 remaining here in the first. 25-2 are the shots. Tremont at the point. The walk. That's deflected out front. That net front presence for the Mountaineers is usually a recipe for success, but tonight it seems more congested than normal as that shot blocker down. Out front again. It's still loose. Locklear. Cunningham had a piece of it. Rogers. Back to Arnett. They'll walk the line at the point. Give it to Rogers. High slot. Low shot. Backhand attempt there from Tremont. Shut down again by Cunningham. It's going to be a 30-shot period for the Mountaineers easily. Arnett again, blockered away, but Stevenson's goalie loses his stick. They'll try to get it back to him quickly. Can't do it. It's App State again. High slot chance. What a glove save from Cunningham.
Oh, my
No
goodness.
stick, no problem.
Have yourself a day so far, Cunningham. My goodness. And there doesn't really seem to be a difference in the pressure that App State is showing Stevenson when they have an extra man as opposed to 5-on-5. I mean, they're maybe forcing the stretch pass and kind of running through the point a little bit more on the power play. But beyond that, it looks very similar to their 5-on-5 play.
Here's Richter. Scores! Jimmy Richter, bottle popper! And it's 1-0 App State as they take the lead on a power play goal. Right off the face-off.
While they kept shooting, one was eventually going to go in. It took 31 shots, but one finally went in for the Mountaineers.
And something they didn't have in last year's playoff game, a lead. They quickly open it up here. Still a lot of time left in the first, and the way they're peppering this goalie, this could turn into a pretty large number on the scoreboard if Stevenson isn't careful. 8:12 remaining here in the first. And now here come the Mountaineers again. Zucchini gets a hack at it, trying to get it in deep. Comes back out to neutral ice. Johnson, he'll just put it right back on net, shouldered down by Cunningham. They're going to call offsides. Very late call. Everyone else had evacuated the zone except for Zucchini. So a quick shift there for the fourth line for the Mountaineers. They'll get that third line back out there. Casey, McCabe, and Richter. Stevenson controls it off the draw, but it comes out to the point where Richter gets to it, and now he's got Casey on a break. Patrick Casey just shoots it wide. Another good look there for the Mountaineers. Couldn't capitalize on it. Now here's Richter. He'll turn away. Sends it to the corner. McCabe gives it a chop. Now Casey dances around a guy. He'll play it off the boards. McCabe can't control it. It gets all the way back to Richter. Now here's McCabe. Get the pass. Casey, near side shot. Just goes high. Johnson at the point. They'll play it down to Richter. Richter, top of the circle. That bounces. It's goal. It goes in. Off a stick. Richter again. Who did hit last?
No, there were a lot of bodies in front. That's what happens when you get traffic. There's going to be some deflections. I think that might have hit a Stevenson defender, actually.
Either way, it's 2-0 App State, and Robbie Richter is fired up. Missed almost half the season and comes back for the Coastal Series, an immediate impact player, and now he's showing his worth in the biggest game of the year so far. As App State's got control again here, Brandon Miller gets it to Bongren. He'll put it on net, steered aside by Cunningham. Zucchini on his knees tries to make a pass. Here comes Weiscott for the Mustangs. They'll play it in deep. Bongren gets to it. They'll play it out for Iorio. And now Casper gets the clear. And that will not be an icing. They'll wave it off at the last second. Lack of hustle showed there by the Mustangs. They could have easily gotten to that puck. And now Casper will reset it in his own defensive zone. He'll find Iorio. He'll pass it up to Zucchini. Backhand flip gets it in deep. Behind the net. That was Hill for the Mustangs. Baker for his manga. Casper, he'll play it along, and Zucchini just gets it in deep as he goes down, and App State will get a change. Here comes the top line again. There's Brandon Miller. He'll have it at the point, plays it off the boards. Arnett will get to it. Out front, Baker. Vermont comes away with it. Play it around down low. Out front again. Toe save. Cunningham's on the ground. Lucas Tremont's shot stopped and covered again by Cunningham. This is getting egregious with the shots.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of the shots have been kind of first chance shots, but not a lot of second chance shots off the rebounds. A lot of the pucks in front, whether controlled by Cunningham or popping out, Mountaineers can't seem to get to a lot of rebounds and get those second chance shots. And when they do, it takes a few seconds.
Arnett wins the draw here on a little step-through move as Tremont hustles to it. Brady on the high slot, shot blocker down. Jumps over Tremont's stick. He was looking for a second chance there. Arnett will crash behind the cage. He gets to it, centering feed. Brady just pokes it high. Tremont winds and loses it, as now the Mustangs will have it. They'll try to clear, but Maresco steps in and holds it at the point. Brady, that's off a stick. Along the half wall, Arnett, he gets stapled. Backhand clear attempt successful for Stevenson as we reach the 5-minute mark of this first period. Locklear's backhand pass touched up by Brady, and it comes right back into the App State defensive zone. Maresco, he'll start the breakout. Tremont leaves it off for Arnett, just a little out of reach, and Stevenson will collect. That goes off the back of Riley Brady as now Ethan Locklear will step up. He'll make some moves. Tremont knows they're offsides, doesn't go in. Locklear gets in onsides. He'll make a move out front. Can't quite finish it. Riley Brady, he'll circle. At the top of the dot. Back down low to the corner, too far for Beck. Now it comes all the way around for Locklear, who'll chop it towards the net. Miller gets a stick on it, looking for a tip. Didn't get through, and now Maresco will just send it back in. Stevenson makes a change, as do the Mountaineer defenseman. And now here's Beck. He's got Miller. Look, Miller. And he just fanned on it right out front. Oh, Jason Beck had the chance of his life, but just whiffed on it. Miller with a heads-up play to look back behind him. And they couldn't capitalize. And now Maresco, he'll settle it down, plays it across for Johnson. Johnson back again for Maresco. He's got Rogers streaking up the wing. And he'll leave it for Beck. Here comes Beck, head of steam. He's got Miller with him, but Beck winds in, dangles out front. Oh, what a toe save from Cunningham. He just stuck the leg out there and made the save with the skate. I've never seen that before. He wasn't even facing the play.
I mean, if I'm wearing a Stevenson jersey right now, after this game, I'm finding whatever restaurant is open, and I'm buying Cunningham's dinner. I'm buying him whatever he wants on that menu because, man, is he standing on his head right now.
Oh, my goodness. So Casey will take the draw here, as it has just been App State, and more App State in this period. Out front, chopping at it is McCabe. He can't quite get a stick on it. Now Richter. He'll send it out front. Again for Casey. He'll turn, shoot, and score! Patrick Casey! That line is buzzing, and it's 3-0 App State in a 40-shot first period. 2 from Richter, 1 from Casey. And the Mountaineers are opening this one up.
Yeah, and if they keep their foot on the gas, this one can get pretty ugly pretty fast, Liam.
We had thoughts about this one coming in, considering Stevenson being the 10 seed. We thought this would be a little bit more of a fight put up in this first period, but so far they haven't been able to put together any sort of consistent attack whatsoever. Every time they come in the zone, they're bodied up or kept to the outside or played to the corner. There's nothing doing in the middle of the ice. They had one play on a turnover, and now here's a centering feed. But that's about it.
Yeah, and we're going to sit here and we're going to sing the praises of App State's offense with a 40-shot first period. But how about their defensive positioning, playing the puck, playing the body, doing a good job of interrupting the rushes? I mean, they look fantastic in the defensive zone.
Richter stood up at the line as now Borak comes in. He'll play it off the ref into the corner as Casper collects. And now here's McCabe trying to go skate the stick. That's broken up. Cummings will track it down for the Mustangs. They'll flip it off the boards, and it gets out to neutral ice, where it can be collected by Brandon Miller. He'll get back into his D zone, flip it, will saucer pass over to Sam Casper, and he'll go off the boards. Nobody home except for a Stevenson defender. Here's Weber. Cross ice to Cummings. Stevenson trying to break it out. Still can't get anything going. As Casper will play it off the boards. Gets up to Iorio, where he delivers a check, and now Wachowski tries to get it in. He'll go cross corner, where Brandon Miller will track it down. His pass to Casper will just whack it off the board. Zucchini gets a body on him there. And he'll circle the cages. Up to Miller. Miller will try to dish this to Iorio, just a little too far ahead of him as his manga comes the other way for the Mustangs. He'll make a move. Good deke there. He shoots low, kicked aside by Wilcox. Hasn't seen much action, so we wonder how fresh he is or how sharp he is. Here's Miller, dusted off for Bongren. In on side, so fire one at the net. Not entirely controlled there by Cunningham, but this one is and will be covered. Barnett on the draw here to Cunningham's right. He wins it to Tremont, who just hammers it in below the goal line. Flipped off the boards by Floyd, and here comes Borak the other way. He'll make a move, drop it off for his manga. Oh, a nice deflection out front, but Wilcox stood his ground and then just turned it aside. Now here comes Tremont. He'll go far side for Brady, just a little too far for him as he gets a stick on it, and it'll go into the Stevenson bench. Only 49 seconds left here in the first period. Still 3-0 App State.
A 38 shot disparity between the two teams right now. That
Moresco
gap just keeps growing.
So Tremont, he just tries to get it in. Floyd ate that one. Brady bodies him up below the goal line. Tremont out front, he scores! What a shot! Lucas Tremont, and the beatdown continues. Everybody's getting involved, and it's 4-0 App State.
Lucas Tremont, blink and you'll miss that shot. What a rip. Oh my goodness, I blinked and that one was coming out of the net.
I don't think I've seen an App State game like this all year. This is some of the best offense I've seen from this squad all season long. They look really cohesive at the moment. They're understanding where they need to be positionally. Everyone's on the same page.
And that's what I was going to say. It feels like for the first time that you and I have called a game this year where it looks like everyone's kind of on the same page offensively and defensively, right? You have guys cutting to the net, guys supporting the guys in the corner, putting a 2-1-2 forecheck down low. I mean, it's art. It's beautiful to see.
Locklear whiffs on the shot at the point, gets another chance. Now here's Miller. 15 seconds left. Low. Kick the side. Back. Turnaround. Swallowed up by Cunningham.
There's no sign of slowing down here from the Mountaineers. You think after getting bounced early in the playoffs last year, they came here with something to prove, and they're putting everyone on notice with a 45-shot first period.
So 9.8 seconds left here in this first period. That's been all Mountaineers. Beck will take the draw to Cunningham's left, and it is sent to the corner. Rogers will turn around, try to get one last shot. Locklear, chance for a backhand here if he hurries. Rogers just tries to play it off, and that'll do it. So we'll go to the intermission. 4-0 App State. We hope to see you guys on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. We are nearing puck drop here in the second period. App State holding on to a 4-0 lead after a dominant first period in which they put on 45 shots on Cunningham for Stevenson. And I've never seen that period before.
Yeah, Liam, I've been around hockey for over 20 years now, and I don't think I've ever seen a 45 shot period in my life.
And it's rare you find a 45 shot game.
Yeah, that is wow. I mean, the App State offense is firing on all cylinders, and you just have to wonder if Stevenson is going to come out with an answer in this second period.
Well, a little stat recap for the first period. 4 goals, 2 of which came from Robbie Richter, who missed last year's playoff game against Rowan and is now making a huge impact in his first playoff game with App State. His line mate, Patrick Casey, has one for good measure, so that third line is really buzzing right now. And then, of course, Lucas Tremont on the top line with an absolute laser as the fourth tally. And that's where we sit. So they're lining up for the draw here. That third line will have the starting honors of the period. McCabe, Casey, and Richter with Locklear and Maresco behind him. And off the draw, Robbie Richter will play it in deep as McCabe will give chase. He'll get a little bump on the boards, and it comes out to his manga for Stevenson. He'll cross the red line and get into the offensive zone, send it toward Wilcox. He steers it aside. And now it gets behind the net. Centering pass. And now Casey has it. That jumps off his stick. He'll try to wiggle through 2 attackers for the Mustangs. And they're able to keep it in, but it ends up with Maresco now as he'll circle back. They'll play it to Locklear, who hammers it up on the half wall to Richter. Richter, backhand around the wall. McCabe will play it for Maresco. He can't get it out. As Stevenson applying a little bit of pressure here, but it's not cohesive pressure. They're just keeping it in. As now Richter forechecking hard here on Hill. They force him to turn it back. Now Cummings. Wilkowski can't handle it. Casey giving some pressure to him there. He'll hold him off with one hand on his stick and wiggle to the high slot. Turn, fire, just goes high off the glass. Out front, Rogers. Casey again, stopped. Cunningham. Oh, McCabe had a chance out front, but Stevenson will survive on the clear, and that will not be an icing as Wilkowski gets there for the Mustangs, and he tries to feed it out front for Will, and Wilcox will cover. Nobody was home anyways. As we'll get our first stoppage, 18:37 remaining here in the second period.
Yeah, and there's a good little sign of life from Stevenson there, getting some pressure, getting the puck down in the zone. For them, that's the third time in this game where they've had a pass in the slot where they lose possession before they could even get a shot off in the slot. Stevenson's got to take advantage of those high danger opportunities in a game where you're not getting many chances like this.
Here's Asa Rogers. He'll send it behind the cage. That's Beatson now, working it up the right side. Miller, backhand, feet off the boards to get out Jason Beck. In the O-zone, it's Rogers fighting through a couple stick checks, and it pops out to Miller. He'll slot feed to Rogers. He just shoots it wide. And now he'll be pressured along the half wall. 3 Mustangs in the area. Now it comes out to Beck. He'll wiggle out front, tuck it. Oh, big save again from Cunningham, just laying down and sticking the pad out. The net did come off the moorings for the stoppage, but another big save for the Stevenson keeper.
My goodness, what a night for Cunningham. I can't say it enough. I know he's given up 4 goals, but I mean, 49 shots, 45 saves through a period in 2 minutes. What a night for him so far.
Rogers spins and fires. That never got home. Here's Miller wrestling a guy off the puck there. Tries to go far side to Rogers, just hopped under it, slid under his stick. And now Wilkowski, he'll try to stretch past to Jones. Didn't quite work out as Aiden Hoey will circle back for the Mountaineers. He'll send it far side. Good tape-to-tape stretch pass there to Rogers. He tries to dance around one guy. That's broken up, and Borak will come the other way for the Mustangs. Rogers breaks that up quickly in the neutral zone. He takes a stick check from his manga, feeds it to Miller. Luke Miller sends it back to the captain, Sam Casper. He'll dance and feed it back to Beatson. Beatson. He'll try to start the rush here. So it comes out to Rogers. He'll just lay it off for Beck. Beck, great move there. Wiggling out front. Another great extension of the pad by Cunningham, as he's been on that all night. Cummings now tracking it down for the Mustangs. That pass didn't end up where they wanted it to, as App State's able to keep it in. Rimmed around by Brandon Miller. And Cummings will get to it for the Mustangs. His pass cut off in the middle by Tremont, held in by Arnett. Oh, a good give and go there. Chase Arnett shut down by Cunningham. Oh, a great little two-man game from Tremont and Arnett. But to no avail, Tremont again, near side shot, shut down by Cunningham. Now the Mustangs trying to get a breakout. Can't quite set it up. Arnett takes it off a Mustang stick, and now Tremont has it. He'll play it back. Holding at the point is Arnett. He'll go far side to Brady. Brady on the dot. Back to Arnett. He'll wiggle in off the side of the cage. Little backhand shot. Back to the point. Here's Casper. He'll walk in. Shoot. Just goes wide. Brandon Miller. He'll send it back down. Takes a weird bounce off the boards. And it gets cleared. No icing as Wachowski is giving chase. Casper gets to it first, though. And Miller will collect. Pressure from both sides. He'll just duck in between them. And now here comes Riley Brady. Scott Tremont with him 2-on-2. He'll go wide. Takes it around the net. Looks for a centering feed. Casper cuts it off at the point. To Brady. Skate to stick. High slot. Shot. Shut down again by Cunningham. Another high percentage look for the Mountaineers early in this period. 15:33 left in this second frame. Again, it's been all App State starting this period as well. They're over 50 shots now in the game. Brady just flips this off the boards. Bongren attacking it. Casper, nice pinch there. Bongren, nice shot there, but it's swallowed up and held by Cunningham as we'll have a face-off with 15:11 remaining here in the second.
Yeah, and the puck movement from the Mountaineers is what's really, really helping them out in their offensive zone, their ability to control these passes. And Liam, I don't know if you remember, to start this season, after the first game of the year, I told you I felt a little nervous about the Mountaineers' inability to complete stretch passes and to complete passes in the zone. But that is a completely different hockey team at this point in the year.
Exactly. You saw it with Aiden Hoey on the ice a couple possessions ago. A nice multi-zone pass to Asa Rogers tape to tape. Those are the kind of simple things that can be a huge difference maker in any game. As now Locklear will set it up. He'll go to Zucchini. That was a good pass. He just couldn't handle it. And now go a little annex bounce there. Bongren out front. Iorio centering feed for Zucchini cut off. And sent out to the neutral zone. Locklear will just send it right back in as App State will get a few new legs out there. Stevenson trying to reset. Locklear able to cut it off and hold the zone. He'll work it out front. Circle the cage, try the wrap around. It's out front in the crease, and it's covered up by Cunningham. 14:17 left here in this second period. I feel a little bad for Nick Wilcox, just standing down there, not doing much. He's done more puck handling than most goalies do.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a terrible thing, right? Better than facing 56 shots through a period and a quarter, I guess.
Yeah. And now here off the draw, Richter's got it. Tries to go skate to stick. Taken away by Asmonga. He'll leave it for Borak. Had a steam here. That pass behind him. And now McCabe will just get it to neutral ice. Sent back in by the Mustangs behind Wilcox. As Stevenson can't pressure, they were offsides. Now Richter here, he's got the puck. He'll work around one guy. No resistance, getting it in deep. They'll try a centering feed here. Casey just couldn't hold on to it. And now here comes Borak again. 2 rushes on this shift for him. As he goes down, that'll be the first penalty of the game on the Mountaineers when they touch up. As Manga has it. He gets leveled by Aiden Hoey. And there will be a penalty coming on the Mountaineers for a hook. Let's see who they're taking. Caden McCabe, number 13, the guilty party for the Mountaineers. 2-minute hooking penalty. Maybe this will get something going for Stevenson. They still haven't even cracked 10 shots yet. They're sitting at 6, being outshot by 50 at this point in the game. 13:28 left in the second.
Yeah, and they keep showing flashes of light and flashes of, some offensive firepower. They're just not able to sustain anything because the Mountaineers have done a really good job of getting possession back and pressuring down on the other side of the ice.
Now here, a good clear to start this penalty kill. And the Mountaineers looking to attack here shorthanded. As Jason Beck slips away from a defender. He'll make another move. He's still got the puck. Goalie lays out for the poke check just to get it to the corner. Ward off the pressure as Esmonga tries to step through and make something happen, but he can't. Beck still pressuring as that point man on this penalty kill, effectively wasting 30 seconds by attacking. As you now have about a minute 20 left on this power play for the Mustangs, as that shot hit Miller in the leg and went wide off into the corner. Now it's Manga. Little backhand shovel to Weissgott. He'll get it back to his Manga along the half wall. Back on it there. He'll just take it right away from him. Now he flips into the corner for Weissgott. Hill looked for a passing partner. It goes cross point to Hill. He'll hold it at the line. Low shot goes all the way to the corner. Didn't get a tip. Weissgott given a shove there by Casper, and he'll just send it all the way around, and that should get out as it's rolling, and it does. He'll reset. Weber now, as they're in on sides. He'll step in and shoot. Goes over the cage. Now is Mongo along the half wall. He'll work. Down low, gets a tap from Miller there. And now Casper. Backhand clearing attempt. Bounced out to the slot. Now Casper will send it off the boards. Still can't get out. And that shot is deflected and bounces wide. Looks like Wilcox misread it for a second there. Tremont will circle. He goes down. No call there. And that's just sent all the way into the Stevenson defensive zone. Casper muscling up there, and now we are all even as McCabe comes out of the box. And he'll go for a change as Chase Arnett hops on the rush. He's got Riley Brady with him. His shot, one-timer, glove save. Arnett trying to pass it out front to Tremont. Can't corral it. And now here come the Mustangs the other way. That's swatted down by Locklear. He'll play it off the boards for Tremont. Tremont stops, starts, turns, and gets a little feed here to Arnett. He's in with Brady 2-on-2. Arnett, great move. All the way in. Another extension save by Cunningham. Putting on a clinic. As we will hit the media timeout here.
I actually don't think Stevenson got a single shot during that power play. They were getting pressure, but they just couldn't seem to get a shot on net. They didn't get a single shot until after the power play was over, taking them to 7 shots in the game to App State's 58. I mean, this is... Liam, I've literally run out of words to describe this. I don't know what else to say at this point. This is unbelievable. The winner of this game will go on to play Coastal tomorrow. This is, of course, the play-in game for the playoffs. Stevenson being the 10 seed, App State being the 7.
If you're paying attention with the ACCHL playoffs, you'll see that Westchester knocked off Maryland. 9-8 upset there in the other play-in game that preceded us here in Winston-Salem. It was a 4-2 victory. Hard-fought game for both teams. Came down to the wire. Maryland was able to even it up in the third period. But Westchester took the lead and then got an empty netter and never let go. Well, the media timeout is coming to a conclusion here as we are back to even strength after the Caden McCabe penalty expired just shortly before the media timeout. As we will have another offensive zone faceoff for the Mountaineers. Looks like that third line is back out there. Casey, Richter, and McCabe. They've got Moresco and Locklear, the freshman D pair up top. 10:56 remaining here in the second. This face-off. One back by Casey to Richter. He'll put it towards the net. Took a weird bounce. McCabe winds it. Here's Casey behind the net, making a move. McCabe, oh, just a toe save there from Cunningham. Richter spins. That shot shut down too. Now here's Casey again. Oh, he was trying to make a little move there behind the net. Maybe he's trying to go for a lacrosse goal. He's got it on his backhand in the corner. He'll spin. Looking for an outlet. He'll dish it off out front. Oh, Richter with a good tip there. Just went wide. Played all the way back around. Casey hustling to it. Moresco will pinch from his defensive position. He goes down, as does the man he runs into. And now here's Richter. He'll turn away. He's still got it along the half wall. He'll dance around another. He'll get to the slot. Fire off a skate. That goes to the corner, controlled by Stevenson. And now here's Maresco. He'll walk out front. Low shot. Richter again over the net. And it comes back out to Maresco. There's McCabe. Down low to Richter. Out of reach for him. It'll come back around for Maresco.
You see Richter slamming his stick in the corner. He really wants that third goal.
Oh, yeah. Oh, out front here. Locklear with a good chance. Casey comes away with it. Halfway mark of the circle there. Stops and starts, goes back down below the goal line. It's where he likes to work. There's a hit in the back. No call there. So McCabe went down. Maresco chips it to the slot. McCabe on it at the point. He'll play it in. Casey turning, wheeling, setting it up, trying to do another move there behind the net. He's got it out front. Oh, through the legs, shot there. Turning, firing is Brady, but it just goes to the corner. Oh, a good pass there from Casey out front. McCabe, and it's covered up by Cunningham. A flurry of chances there as App State has now eclipsed the 60-shot mark. They're just over halfway through the second period, 9:06 remaining in the frame.
63 shots. I feel like we're watching a triple overtime playoff game. My goodness.
Another offensive zone faceoff here. This time, Chase Arnett on the draw for the Mountaineers. He'll win it to Brady. Brady just sends it into the corner. Arnett muscling up. Comes out to the point as Munga on it for the Mustangs. He can't get it out as Arnett, took a bounce off Tremont out front and scooped up and held onto again by Cunningham, as we'll have another draw. I will say this period is moving a little faster than the first period. Took a bit to get out of the gates. But more of the same in this second period. What happened in the first, but no goals to show for it for App State.
Do you get a little concerned if you're App State with the fact that you can't bury the puck that efficiently right now, especially if you're coming to play against Coastal tomorrow?
I'm a little concerned considering 64 shots on the board and only 4 goals to show for it. As here could change here as Arnett winds in and scores. Top shelf, Chase Arnett. And it's 5-0. As we start talking about the lack of scoring in the second period, Chase Arnett answers our prayers and adds on to the lead.
Right, and of course, I mean Chase Arnett, that's one of your usual suspects that's going to bury the puck for you around the net. So of course you want a guy like him scoring. But you do have to question, right, whether the rest of the team is going to be able to bury the puck against a team that's going to show a lot more resiliency tomorrow.
I'm looking mainly at that second line, Asa Rogers, Jason Beck. They've had a number of chances today, specifically Jason Beck. He's had at least 3 1-on-0 opportunities that he's been unable to bury. So we'll just see if he can get it going here as we wind in to about the 8-minute mark of this second period. That line is out there right now. Here's Beck with the puck out front. Bounce off pressure, go to the point. Casper's shot turned aside by Cunningham. Miller chops at it. Rogers kicks at the puck, and it pops out to Baker for Stevenson as he'll settle it down. Tipped in by Wachowski, and it ends up with Casper. He'll play it up the boards. Rogers to Beck. Beck has Miller with him. They'll get in together, and they're going to call that offsides. They didn't look offsides from up here, but we'll have a face-off in the neutral zone.
That's why we're on the booth and they're on the ice.
Looks like they're going to keep that second line out there. I think one big difference here, if I'm just looking at the benches right now, looks like App State's got a few more legs to work with than Stevenson, and that can be a big factor, especially with the type of game that's being played. Oh, backhand shot out front from Rogers. Oh, and there's a pass broken up by a diving stick, and that turnaround shot swallowed up.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, yeah, that disparity in skaters really hurts, especially when you're spending a lot of your game running around in the defensive zone, trying to lose the puck, trying to go to the puck. It's not only tiring, but it's demoralizing, which in turn makes you more tired. So, I mean, yeah, of course, Stevenson would benefit from more skaters, but of course, it's on the guys they have now to do what they can with what they've got. And I believe they're also fighting some injury concerns as well. I saw a few guys leaving the ice earlier after the first period and not returning.
As there's a scrum in the corner here, Zucchini and Iorio get it moving. Bongren hops to it. He'll play it out to the point. That's Casper. Casper fires off a stick. That slowed it down before it reached Cunningham. Now Iorio's on it. He'll feed it to Bongren. He can't corral it. And now Cordery's got it for Stevenson. Wachowski can't stretch it out as Ragone was calling for it in the neutral zone. Now here's Casper. He'll walk in, shooting it. Oh, that was more of a pass there through the slot. Ends up with the Mustangs. Here comes Wachowski. Can't get the motor started that quick. And he's already hounded by 2 App State players. As Iorio takes him down. Big play there for Joey Iorio. There's a shot turned aside. Bongren with a good look there. He's been hustling all night. Zucchini on it below the goal line. Tying him up. Bongren hustling to it again. And it comes out to the point for Locklear. He'll walk in. Shoot. And it hit the side of the cage. I don't think that actually got on goal, as they are now saying there are 70 shots on the board for App State. There's Casper. That one goes off the side of the cage. Still can't be cleared. And now it gets out to neutral ice. Borak all alone. And they're going to call offsides. He was in the zone before the puck was. You don't like seeing that.
Yeah, that could have been the best chance of the game. I mean, geez, this is just a nightmare night for Stevenson. It's just, you just want to get to the end of the game if you're wearing a Stevenson jersey right now. That's all you're asking for at this point.
This neutral zone draw coming in front of the penalty boxes. As Locklear will play it. Nobody home. He'll get it back and just go dump in on Cunningham. He'll block her to side. And this gets sent out. No icing, as Maresco will track it down for App State. 5.5 to go here in the second period. Locklear. He'll play it off the boards. A little too far for McCabe to track it down. And dumped it right back in. No icing for Stevenson. Maresco's got it. He'll go to McCabe. McCabe winding. He'll just reset. Looking for somewhere to go with the puck. He'll find Patrick Casey. Casey stops and starts. They got a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Casey makes a move. A little fancy for no reason there. As he gets it back here in the corner. And sends it back around where Richter will try to get to it. He furthers it up to the point. He's got it in the high slot. Looks like he might need a new tape job. That tape's coming off his stick. He's been touching the puck a lot. Might be why. So he goes short side out front. Oh, what a sprawling save again by Cunningham. Oh, a great feed out front to Patrick Casey sitting on the back door. And Cunningham shuts it down. Wow.
You know, if you're the Mountaineers, again, you got to keep in mind that you're probably playing a game tomorrow. You don't want to build good habits. And Patrick Casey carrying that puck in that 3-on-2, forcing the moves. I mean, I understand it's a 5-0 game, but you want to continue to play the hockey that you know, continue to use this as like a practice and build that chemistry and build those plays with your teammates.
As Arnett here, he'll make a move, and there's going to be a delayed penalty. And they're going to call interference, even though Arnett was carrying the puck. They call it on the pass. That was a weird play there. It was delayed call while the team they're calling the penalty on had the puck. Looks like Aiden Hoey will go to the box for interference with 4:17 remaining here in the second.
Yeah, it took a minute for the ref to process that one, I guess. As our raucous crowd of about 60 people here chanting for App State, having a good time, enjoying the 5-0 lead right now.
So the Mountaineers will go on the penalty kill for the second time in this period as Stevenson gets a shot from the point. That's swallowed up by Wilcox. Will have a face-off.
I believe that might be their first shot in about 8 minutes.
4:11 remaining here in the second as Casper will get the clear in on Cunningham. That'll waste some time. Comes out to neutral ice here is this Manga. Given a tap there by Tremont. Casper comes away with it. He'll further it around for Miller. Miller dodges a check, but gives up the puck to Hill. Hill turns, tries to get it back to the point. Tremont spinning away with it. And now it gets down low again. Back to the point is Manga. Floyd, his shot blocked down with a skate as this gets cleared. There's reaching about a minute left on this penalty kill for the Mountaineers. 3:20 left here in the second. Luke Miller hops to it. Oh, he overskates it just a little bit, and now here come the Mustangs. That shot in, toe save by Wilcox. Wilkowski, he'll go far side. Weiscott. That hit a few objects on the way to the net and ends up in the corner. Here's Melvin. Back to the point for Wilkowski. That's kicked away by Brady. He has a chance here, shorthanded, all alone. Skating in. Backhand, another sprawling save by Cunningham. Oh, is this period better than the last? I don't know, but he's made a few timely saves to keep this deficit where it's at.
I mean, that takes him to 67 saves on the night. I mean, 67 saves. That's, well, you were a goalie. I mean, could you imagine a 67 save night?
I had one game where I had about 50, but this is 67 with 2:46 left in the second period is unheard of. Maresco at the point. His shot blocked down by Borak, and now here it comes the other way. Floyd's got it. He was offsides for a second, but got back onsides, and he takes a check there from Maresco as this is flung back down. 15 seconds left on the kill. 2.5 left in the period. Hill will reset for the Mustangs. Rogers, the point attackman here on this penalty kill. App State's always been pretty effective attacking in a shorthanded position. Oh, Rogers got a body in front of it. Tries to feed it off to Beck. Can't corral it. That pass leaks under the stick of Beck as well. Locklear will have it. He'll go cross corner. That gets in behind the cage. Cummings will circle back with it. He'll work it up the right side. Under 2 minutes left here in the second period. Stretch pass into neutral ice. They're in on sides, hacking it towards the net. That just goes wide. Maresco sends it to Beck. Beck will leave this for Rogers. They'll get in. Back to Beck. Gets in again. Another save by Cunningham as Jason Beck has had so many chances tonight and has been unable to find the twine.
I mean, that one right there, he just carries the puck a little bit too long in the slot. He's going to shoot that puck the second he gets it. Because by the time he does release the puck, I mean, Cunningham has made sure he had nothing to shoot out there by getting up in his face. And that was just a good play positionally by Cunningham there.
This shot goes wide from Richter. Richter has it at the top of the circle. He'll send it low. Cunningham pushes it around. Oh, wraparound chance there from McCabe. Just went through the goal mouth, and now Maresco hammers it to the other corner. At the point, Locklear. That shot deflected, goes wide. 1:15 left here in the first. Maresco will cut it off at the point. Here's Richter. Richter spins away. Still just muscling it, holding on to the puck. Here's Casey. Oh, there's Richter out front. Oh, another save from Cunningham. Maresco's shot blocker to side. Cunningham, another save. Under a minute left here in this second period. Richter spinning to the corner. Oh, good no look past her to Casey. He'll walk out front. He gets taken down. I don't see a hand up. No call there. Out front again. Oh, through the legs pass. Richter trying to tuck it. And another save by Cunningham. All the opportunities in the world for this third line on this shift. They just can't get it as Cunningham is holding down the fort.
I mean, how many times are they going to go across the crease on Cunningham on the backhand and he's going to make the save? I mean, he's just waiting for it every time now.
As this gets into the corner, Iorio try to play it at the dot. This jumps over Maresco's head and will go all the way down. It'll be an icing. So we'll have 11 seconds left on the clock. There's another offensive faceoff.
And right now, Cunningham's save percentage in the game is at .935, having made 72 saves on 77 shots.
.935 is a good season-long save percentage.
That'll get you a job in the show right there.
Oh, my. Stevenson controls this draw as there's about 5 seconds left in the period. Wilkowski through neutral ice. He'll get in the offensive zone. Fire one towards Wilcox. He'll steer it aside. And that will take us to the end of the second period. And we'll head to the intermission. We'll hope to see you guys on the other side of this for the third period of this playoff game for the Mountaineers. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. We are just around the corner from puck drop in the third period. App State still holding on to that 5-0 lead, out shooting Stevenson 77-9. Adam, what are you thinking as we head here into this third period?
Well, I'm just thinking Stevenson's got to show some sign of life. If you're going to want to mount a comeback here, which of course they do, right? You lose, you're out. If you're going to want to mount a comeback here, you need a goal early for Stevenson. And so for them, in order to do that, you need to get the puck in and sustain that pressure for the first time this game. The pressure has not stayed sustained from them. And when App State is on the puck, they only seem to have one forward pushing on the forecheck. And if it hasn't worked up to this point, throw a second body in there, throw more people on the puck, and see if you can force App State to make a mistake in their defensive zone. All it takes is one to get it rolling. And so for them, they need to get one while they can early on. And then for App State, I mean, you just need to continue doing what you're doing in the defensive zone. You need to continue getting the pucks out of the net center of the high danger areas. To start the game, there were a couple of pucks from Stevenson that rolled through the high slot and rolled through the lower slot. That hasn't really happened at the back half of the second period there. And they need to continue to playing good defense and stopping pucks from going through there. And then the offense needs to kind of return to that puck movement they had in the first period. Towards the end of the second period, guys are kind of trying to stick handle around, trying to play some hero puck, which it's fun and everything while you're, battering a team. But you need to continue to build on your good habits like you've done all year long and take it into tomorrow's game.
Well, I like the point you made there about Stevenson adding another man to the rush, maybe getting a little bit more aggressive. Now is not the time to sit back and play defensive hockey. You are down 5 goals. You haven't had any sort of spark on offense. You've got to get something going, and there's only one way to ignite that fire.
Yeah, and I think the only way they can do that is by sending 4 guys into the zone. I don't even think 2 or 3 is enough. I think they need as many bodies as possible, and you need to accept that you're going to give up some odd man rushes if you want to get back in this game.
And your goalie's been good enough on the back end to remedy those odd man rushes. He's held his own. It hasn't been the odd man rushes that have hurt them.
Exactly.
It's been sustained zone pressure.
Exactly. And so that's why I think you need to throw as many bodies as you can down low, below the hash marks, and really get something going here.
All righty here. Stevenson trying to get some attacking time under their belt as it quickly comes back out to neutral ice and is played in by Baker for an App State breakout. As this goes under a stick, and they're going to call an icing here as it'll come back down to the App State defensive zone. So an offensive zone face-off here for the Mustangs, something they haven't had much of today.
Now, and they started the second period with a little bit of a chance or two in their offensive zone. And so you hope, if you're Stevenson, that this isn't the only chance to, in the period like it was in the second period, that we're going to be back in this zone a lot more throughout the end of this game.
And that shot pass hybrid ends up with Locklear as now Richter gets in. He's got Casey far side. He'll just circle the cage. Knocked off his stick by Cummings. Gets it back. Makes a move. Out to the point. There's Maresco. Settles down the puck. Casey's got it. He tries to saucer it to the slot for Richter. Comes back toward Casper. He walks in off the side of the cage. Spinning feed. Ends up with Casey. At the line. He'll turn down to the half wall for Richter. Richter gets it from McCabe. He goes down and tries to put a shot on net. And now Stevenson will try the breakout. Wachowski gets turned around a little bit there as Maresco will just send it in deep for the Mountaineers. Now it ends up with Casper. He'll go far side. Miller can jump in on the rush. That's Brandon Miller. He's got Luke Miller out front. He'll like to feed it to Beck. Beck turns, and he gets shoved down out front. Wachowski gets on it. Finds Rigone. Backhand breakout feed. Ends up with Beck. They'll feed it for Rogers. And Luke Miller will turn and backhand it into the attacking zone. Wachowski had it for a second. Now Cunningham will play it over to his teammate. Not a lot of good puck control here from Stevenson on their breakouts. As here's a good chance. Wachowski going far side. He's got Casper on him, and he centers it to a Mountaineer. That's Jason Beck. Now Luke Miller, he'll go wide. Step around one. Loses it for a second in the corner, but gets it back. Spins out to the dot. He'll leave it for Beck at the top of the circle. Makes a move into the slot. And that's knocked off his stick. Miller on it again. Out front, Rogers. Another chance and another save from Cunningham. 2 hacks at it for Rogers out front, and nothing to show for it as Borak's shot goes over the net. He gets it back in the corner. Back to the point for Floyd, and he loses control of it and just sends it back in to the defensive zone for the Mountaineers. Brandon Miller's on it. He'll flip this out to neutral ice off of Floyd. That'll negate an icing. Now the Mustangs will try to reset it. Played it behind their own cage. Got it below the goal line. Backhanding it out. Borak, he gets cut off there by Brady. Brady, he's got a guy out front that was Tremont. Didn't know he had him. Now Arnett had it in his skates, and now Weissgott comes the other way for the Mustangs. He's pressured hard by Brady. And now Arnett just drops it off for Tremont. Brady wide, fires over the net. That was a rocket. Didn't find anything. And now Arnett will settle it down at his own blue line. He'll make a move. Oh, little shimmy there, and he gets in on sides. Tries to dish it to Tremont, broken up there by Weissgott. He'll lose it again in neutral ice as Arnett just tearing him up. A little good move there, but he gets separated from the puck as the Mustangs want to push it the other way. That's fired in, blocker to side by Wilcox. Rakowski, he's got it. Fired, swallowed, and held by Wilcox. 15:56 remaining here in the third, as we'll have a defensive zone face-off with Mountaineers.
This Mustang team is really not all present there right now. I mean, you saw earlier, Cunningham lost his stick in the defensive zone. Both Stevenson defenders just stared at the stick, don't even help their goalie get the stick back. And it's just, I mean, this team just looks dejected. They look completely out of it, in my eyes.
Zucchini winding the slot. This is the fourth line out here for the Mountaineers now as he goes down. Iorio pressuring in the corner, bodies up. They both go down. Iorio goes down. That'll be a penalty on Stevenson as Zucchini standing up for his guy. Oh, Iorio getting in there too. He didn't take too kindly to it. Oh, and there's punches thrown by Hill. He's already going to the box. He might leave the game now.
Wow, and he winded up on that punch. I think yep.
He will no longer be skating around tonight. He will head to the locker room and have an early exit. It's just a dirty play. You don't want that. I mean, obviously you're down 5-0. You're not feeling the greatest, but that's never a kind of play you want for your team.
No.
Don't wail on a guy that you just got called for a penalty on.
And neither is that the way I want to end my season, by skating off the ice with the rest of my team still playing. But Zucchini and Iorio getting into it in the corners, getting under the skin of Stevenson players.
So Iorio will not face punishment. Neither will Zucchini. Looks like it'll just be a game misconduct for this Stevenson defenseman, Hill. Looks like the refs are still sorting out how to assess this properly.
And I would think with this penalty, that's the killing blow, Stevenson. I mean, we're almost 5 minutes into the last period. You needed a quick goal, and now, they've been struggling 5-on-5, and now being a man down, I would argue it's insurmountable at this point for them, for the Mustangs.
I would have to agree with you there, Adam. They're still discussing over there in the officials' arc. Captains for each team, Casper and Melvin, awaiting a result. Final verdict. I wouldn't be surprised if they pull somebody from that scrum in the App State side, either Zucchini or Iorio, for the retaliation, because they do like to get second guy in.
Yeah.
Obviously, the initial penalty was a tripping or a takedown there for Hill.
If you're going to take anybody, it's going to be Zucchini because he's the one who came in late to protect Iorio. And that's not the wrong play, right? You want to stand up for your teammates, but that's just the way she goes. So, but you're definitely going to see at least one Stevenson player in the box here. That's for sure. The door's wide open. They're waiting on a number.
Now the refs are discussing this with the representatives for each team. This is just something that's unnecessary in a game like this. You don't need to slow it down. It's all could be avoided.
Yeah, it absolutely could be.
So the captains are going back to their benches to explain the decision. Looks like Iorio will be going to the box. Other box, Joey. Iorio going to the wrong box there for a second. But he'll head to the box, as will Cordery, as he'll serve the 2.
Seems like Stevenson will get
Hill.
a 5-minute penalty. App State will only get a 2-minute minor. So they'll get 3 minutes of a power play once Joey's out the box.
Looks like they'll get a 5 in game for Hill, served by Cordery. And then they'll get Iorio on a 2-minute penalty for the retaliation. We'll get a little bit of 4-on-4. A lot of open ice to work with here, as the draw is played back behind the Stevenson cage. Now it comes out to Maresco at the point. They'll send it down to Casey. At the dot, he'll just flip it far side for Richter. Richter gets past one guy. They'll play it off the boards. That's Maresco. Locklear hammers it, and that got a stick. Looked like it was a Mustang stick on the way through and never saw Cunningham. Casey, he'll wind. Oh, and that just goes under the stick of Locklear. And now Borak will pressure. First man to it for Stevenson. He winds away from Locklear. A good move there. Scott Floyd attacking in the zone. Backhand swallowed up by Wilcox. 14:40 left here in this third period of play. So Wilcox has been a little bit more active here in the early bits of this third period, seeing 3 shots. Still hasn't had much to do in this game, done a lot of puck handling. Now Casper's able to get it out. He lays a body out there. Here comes Bondgren. Scott McKay with him. Oh, shot held on to. Almost leaked through Cunningham, but he was able to trap it. And we'll get another face-off. 14:23 left here in the third period. 52 seconds left on the penalty Iorio. Casper off the draw. Goes far side to Miller. And that gets out of the zone. They'll have to reset it. Casper passes it to Bondgren. Bondgren, he'll make a move, plays it off the boards, gets it in deep. He's in the corner, trying to get out front, throws it off a pad. That should be the 80th shot of the game for the Mountaineers. In neutral ice here, it pops out to McCabe as Bondgren goes down. McCabe shot, oh, he scores! He picked a corner! It was only in for about half a second. There was a delayed penalty, too, as Wilcox came rushing off the ice. Well, that doesn't matter, as App State tacks on another one at 6-0.
Absolute snipe of a shot, picking that weak side top corner. That's what you practice in your driveway all hours of the summer right there. Wow.
And that third line, each member of that line has a tally tonight. Richter with 2, Casey with 1, McCabe with 1. He wasn't even playing with his line mates considering it was 4-on-4, and he still figured out a way to make an impact. That's what you want to see from your young guys. He's another freshman out there putting everything on the ice and not leaving anything behind.
Yeah, it's hard not to get excited about the future of this App State team. A lot of young guys carrying their weight, doing their jobs, and you're going to see them for at least 3 more years.
Looks like they're putting somebody in the box. It's 4-on-3 for the moment. Looks like they're still going to assess that penalty even after the goal. That's pretty odd.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with that rule.
Yeah, I don't understand the decision on that one. It feels like the ref's just kind of sticking it to Stevenson now at this point.
So Iorio's penalty with 5 seconds left on it, then it'll turn into 5-on-3 for the Mountaineers. They can put one more in the net to make it 5-on-4, but that other penalty's non-releasable, being a 5-minute major. Here's Arnett at the point. Rogers. Oh, and the net comes off. They have not blown it dead. Looks like they're just going to play on. And Arnett goes to Tremont. Tremont stops. Fights off some pressure. They'll spin away. And here's Arnett again. Get in on sides. He's got numbers. He goes down. No call there. Out front again. Rogers' shot just goes wide. Beck. He'll stop and start in the corner. Plays it around behind the net. Here's Rogers. Beck's got it. Scott Tremont, if he wants him. There he is. Tremont shot near side, block it away. Now Tremont muscling away with the puck. Here's Arnett. He'll go back down, load it back. Can't quite corral it. He gets bodied up in the corner by his manga. Now here's Tremont. Slot Rogers. Oh, he just weak little shot there. Didn't quite get to the goalie. It was a good look, though. He was in the slot waiting for it. There's 25 seconds left on the 2-minute penalty, and that will end the 5-on-3. Still a minute 35 left on the other penalty. Oh, out front, a nice move from Brady. Another chance there for Beck. Cunningham on his butt. Casey makes a move, got a guy to fall down. Another chance out here. Beck fires it wide. Here's Arnett making a move. Backhand score! Chase Arnett weaving through. And now it's 7-0. So we'll head to the media timeout here as they'll rest for a second. Following the goal from Chase Arnett, his second tally of the game on a nice backhand. So the top line with 3 contributions, the third line with 4. Let's hope they can keep that momentum rolling into tomorrow night's contest.
Yeah, and they seem to be scoring at a more efficient rate now on their shots, and not only higher quality scoring chances, but just better shots now from the Mountaineers. And I mean, of course, part of that has to do with the fact that Cunningham has faced 84 shots, and he's bound to be tired at this point. But it's also just better shot selection from the Mountaineers at this point, and that's encouraging coming into a better game tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening, I should say.
20 seconds left in the timeout. App State looks like they'll be able to coast into the finish line here. That early spurt you were talking about for Stevenson did not come to fruition. They had a couple chances early on, but ultimately these penalties in this first half of the period have just derailed any sort of hope they had.
And I think also the thing that's been hurting Stevenson as well is the Mustangs seem to have not a lot of bodies coming up with them on the rush. A lot of times they kind of force that neutral zone pass up to the guy who's in front of the entire play, and then he's taking on 3 defenders at a time.
Back shot, shoulder to side by Wilcox, and he'll cover.
That was a good shot, but most of the rushes from the Mustangs have been one guy by himself taking on multiple defenders. There's not a lot of people up there to give him passing outlets, and so they've been forced to take just kind of weak shots at Wilcox or just carry the puck into the corner and wait for your players to catch up to you. It's been a rough go for them for sure.
And I know you've seen it too. They've gotten in by themselves, and then they get tied up on the half wall out front, covered up by Wilcox. Another good shot there. As I was saying, they're able to get into the zone, and then they turn and look for a guy after they get tied up, and there's nobody there. So they end up just feeding it to the middle of the defensive zone for the Mountaineers, where it's scooped up by a forward, and the rush goes the other way.
Right. I mean, you've caught it multiple times this game where they go into the half wall. You're staring down 4 white jerseys and all the black jerseys still in the neutral zone behind you. And that's not just one step waiting for you to break in. I'm talking about 10, 20 steps behind the play.
And now here's Richter. Still 5-on-4 for another 45 seconds here for the Mountaineers. That 5-minute penalty is almost about killed off. Not without some tallies on the board during it. Now here, Patrick Casey. He'll dust it off in the corner for Richter. Richter looking out front. And that's in. That's another goal. That's Riley Brady. Not a lot of noise following that one. But it was just a quick little bounce out front, and Brady got a tuck. So 11:01 remaining here in the third period. Still 29 seconds left on that 5-minute major. And it's now 8-0 Mountaineers.
And I feel a little bad for Cunningham at this point. I mean, I feel like the 8 goals are going to undercut the fact that he has made 77 saves at this point. I mean,
that's like 3 games worth of saves. Right?
Yeah, that's absolutely phenomenal night from him. I mean, I just want to keep saying nice words about him because I mean he's getting left out to dry tonight, and he's doing absolutely all you can ask him to do.
And that puck ends up in the bench, so we'll have another face-off. 10:53 left here in the third. So as Brady puts up a tally there, that's now 4 points 4 goals for each line of for the first line and for the third line. Eager to see the assist numbers there. Heavy point night. As Hoey keeps it in for a moment, and now the captain of the Mustangs, Melvin, will go the other way, and he'll just get it in deep. Bongren tracks it down. 5 seconds left on that major penalty to Hill. And now here's Bongren trying to get in the zone. He loses his stick. As we're all even now. Here comes Beatson. He'll leave, and they're offsides as Bongren was still trying to wrangle his stick. So we'll have a face-off in the neutral zone. 10:24 left here in the third.
It is 12:06 a.m. So happy March, Liam. Another month. Made it through.
Looking forward to St. Patrick's Day for sure, and the NCAA tournament.
Oh,
A
absolutely.
lot of things on our plate.
Might see the Mountaineers in the tournament. I mean, all Mountaineer sports are just firing on all cylinders right now.
We're a basketball school. Oh, and there's a shot from Beatson that hit a stick.
Yep. Basketball's been on a heater. Baseball has been looking pretty good to start the year. And of course, hockey looks great.
There's an offsides. As we'll have another face-off. Yeah, App State basketball tomorrow night. They take on Arkansas State at the Holmes Convocation Center for their season finale with a chance to set the record for all-time wins in a
26,
season.
right?
26. They're sitting at 25-5 atop the Sun Belt. Personally, I think they've got a chance to make the tournament without a Sun Belt Conference tournament championship for the way they've played all year.
Well, that would require an at-large bid, which I think losing to Texas State really hurts the Mountaineers in that at-large bid.
Beatson at the point here. Feeds it off to Hoey. His shot low, got a deflection from Iorio out front. Now Bongren's on it. He'll play it back to the point for Beatson. He's got it. He'll wind. He'll make a move. He's in the high slot. Shoots. Oh, it just goes high. It was a good-looking shot. Hoey steps in and delivers the wood. And they're going to get him with a penalty here. They're going to say he hit him up high.
Yeah.
As the Stevenson player is still not getting up. You don't want to see that when you're up 8-0.
No, I don't know. I feel it's a questionable choice to step up and try to absolutely body a guy when you're up 8-0 like that. And it could have been accidental, just trying to separate the guy from the puck, make a play. But I mean, it's just kind of a thing you don't really want to see or do when you're already smashing a team 8-0 and out shooting them by over 60-something shots.
By 62. Hopefully he's all right. And he's back on his feet, shaking it off.
62 shots. 72 shots, actually.
70. Our math isn't great right now. It's a little late. So 9:33 left here in the period. We'll see if that's a 5-minute major they'll call on Hoey. Same thing they called on Hill. I think they're just going to call it hit to the head, something like that.
Yeah, and that's not good with game misconduct. Does that lead to a suspension in the? Because they're going to need Hoey tomorrow.
It's interesting you bring that up. I'm not sure if, considering there's not 10 minutes left on the clock for that misconduct, they might force him to sit out a period or so tomorrow or miss the whole game. You never know.
Yeah, so that's why I think that's just not play you want to make in a game like this at all.
It's just not a smart play. It's not necessary. There's no tone to be set at this point.
No. I mean, you saw the reaction from the Stevenson bench. They weren't even mad at Hoey for that hit. They just wanted to go home. They just wanted to go back home at this point.
Draw one here by Stevenson. As we got more 4-on-4. Here comes Maresco. He's got Beck. Beck with some speed. He's ahead of the rush. He'll get almost taken down. That almost was a penalty. But it's another save for Cunningham on Beck. He's had his number all game. Now here comes Stevenson the other way. Asmonga. He loses it. Rogers gets rubbed out a little bit there. Here comes Maresco. Tries to feed it over to Beck. Goes backwards towards the Mountaineer blue line. Brandon Miller will corral it. And he'll dish it off to Asa Rogers. He'll work through neutral ice. Under 9 minutes left here in the third. Rogers goes wide. Still wheeling around with it. He'll play it down to Beck. as Rogers gets tossed to the ice. Back now, as Mongo rubs him off the puck, and here comes Floyd the other way, shuffling the puppies. And he just loses control of it. And it's controlled by Maresco.
That's a great back check by Miller and Beck to be able to interrupt that breakaway. I mean, they're still hustling even late in this game. That's what you like to see.
Melvin's shot, swallowed up by Wilcox. He squared up nicely. And a little chance there for Stevenson to get something going, but it's probably all in likelihood going to be too little too late no matter what they do. It's good to see some spark from them late in the game. They're not giving up. They're not throwing in the towel. 8:23 left here in the third.
And the body language might say one thing about Stevenson, but they're still playing. They're still putting their best foot forward, trying what they can to do. I mean, my old coach used to say that hockey's the greatest sport on earth, and it's a privilege to play it. And these guys are, taking advantage of the privilege while they got it. They're doing what they can.
And there's McCabe shrugging off a check. He's got Casey out front if he wants him. He tries to feed it to him. Didn't get through. Now Casey will get his stick stuck in the boards behind the net. Not out of the play, though, as he comes back around trying to muscle a guy off the puck in the corner. As Manga now with it for the Mustangs. He'll go through neutral ice into the attacking zone, takes a stick check from McCabe, dangles out front. Casey comes away with it. He'll just play it off the boards and get it out. As Manga tries to go far side, he's looking for Melvin. That was chopped out of the air by Casey. Now it comes all the way back down to the D zone for the Mustangs. 7:20 left here in the third. 2:45 remaining on the 5-minute major to Aiden Hoey. He's being served by Chase Arnett. Now here comes Weber for Stevenson. Weber's shot. Never got through. Beatson pressuring Melvin. He'll come away with it. He'll weave around him. He gets bumped there by Cummings. Now Melvin's got it along the half wall. There's Casey furthering it up for Beatson. And there's a delayed penalty coming here on App State. They're going to call this on.
It was a penalty on Stevenson. It's just a matter of who they're taking.
Looks like they're escorting Melvin off the ice, their captain. I didn't see what happened. Must have been behind the play. Odd, it didn't look like there was anything egregious enough to warrant an ejection there. But
no, I didn't catch anything. And, maybe the refs just trying to take control of the game, right? It's a blowout. You don't want to see anybody get hurt, anything crazy happen. But, I mean, Stevenson already has a short bench. I was punishing an already losing team.
Looks like that'll be a 2-10 instead of a 5 in game. So the face-off here, Luke Miller will win it back. Jumps over Maresco's stick, and Brandon Miller will corral it in neutral ice. Maresco plays it back for Brandon Miller. His pass, a little out of reach for Richter. That'll get all the way in. Cummings will track it down. He'll try to ring it around the boards. And it goes past Maresco, and this will just kill a little bit more time off as Brandon Miller corrals it. He'll play it up for Richter. Richter centering feed to Luke Miller. They've got 2-on-2 if they hurry. Luke Miller dangles through. Cunningham will just feed it away. So Luke Miller goes down, and he's laboring. He's had a bad shoulder the last 2 seasons. That's not a good sign.
Right shoulder as well, it looks like.
That's always been his bugaboo, has been that right shoulder, and that's not a timely injury for the team by any means. If he's at all limited tomorrow, that's a big blow to that second line.
It didn't look like much, but he could have landed on it wrong, hit it wrong. It's just
he's holding that arm, but that's usually to stabilize that shoulder.
Oh. You hope that it's nothing serious and just a preventative measure that he's leaving the ice, because Of course, it being an 8-0 game, there's nothing really keeping him in here right now. Better safe than sorry. He's never like to see that in any circumstance.
Especially in a game that's ultimately decided at this point. Just taking injuries in the final minutes of this game, it's not ideal, and that's a very high puck, one off the draw by Bongren. As we reach the 6-minute mark here in the third period. And neutralized here is Joey Iorio. He stands up to a check there. Bongren will get to it in the corner. Tries to dust off some pressure there. That pass doesn't end up with a Mustang, as Borak didn't see it come one right through his legs. It's Brandon Miller's pass ends up with Wachowski, who's got Borak out front, and he just shoots it wide. That was one of the best chances I've seen for Stevenson all night. They had a guy camping backdoor, Wilcox.
That was the best chance Stevenson had all night. And they just, if that doesn't tell you the state of the game, I don't know what does. They just couldn't convert there.
Brandon Miller. He'll feed it to Bongren. He's got Iorio a little bit behind him on that pass. Now here's Bongren. His shot off the mask of Cunningham, but it pops out for a rebound collected by Floyd, and he'll further it up along for Weisscott. Scott Floyd with him. That shot stopped by Wilcox. Did it go in? No, it's in his glove. It's in his glove. I didn't see it.
I think Wilcox had it.
The body language from Wilcox did not suggest there was a save made there. It looked interesting. Flipped out to neutralize and glove down. Oh, Rogers was streaking ahead. Don't know what that call is. Hand pass. We've got 4 seconds left on the penalty to the 2-minute penalty to Melvin. The 2 of his 2 and 10. And 18 seconds left on the 5-minute major to Hoey, served by Arnett. So we'll get back to 5-on-5 here shortly. 4:50 left in this third frame. Locklear off the draw. He'll just send it in deep. Beatson, he'll try to get it in deep. Rogers is rubbed out along the boards. Out front is Beck. He'll turn. Still got it. That's off a stick and goes wide. Out front again, Beck. He'll dangle. Little spin move there. He gets tied up in the corner. Rogers tried to come away with it. He got pushed off it. Now Beck gets to it again. He'll go wide around the cage. Back to the point. Here's Beatson. Oh, and he loses control of it. Here comes Scruggs the other way for the Mustangs, as he'll just flip it in towards Wilcox. He'll stick it to the corner. Beatson's got it. He'll stop and start. Finds Richter. Richter takes a check there. A stick check, that is, not a body check. And now here's Beatson. His pass, just a little out of reach for Rogers, but that jumps under a Stevenson stick, and Rogers had a good chance. Beatson's shot goes wide. Borak, stretch pass. Wachowski coming up the left side. He'll stop and shoot. That went off of Casey and ends up in the corner. Now McCabe's stretch pass. That will be an icing. So we'll go back to the defensive zone for a faceoff. 3:22 left here in this third period. Again, shots 88-17. A draw one here by Stevenson. They got it at the point. Turnaround shot out front. Still shut down by Wilcox, and he'll cover for another stoppage. A little flurry out front. Kept his composure and froze it. This draw One off to the left side of the defensive zone. And now here comes Richter. He'll go wide. Gets the puck taken off his stick. He goes down. Richter muscling for it again. He'll come away with it on his backhand. He'll get it in. He'll go wide. Stops. Tries to center it for McCabe. And it comes all the way back to the Mountaineer defensive zone as Brandon Miller will get to it. He'll stop behind the cage, try to make a move. Maresco will get to it. That's he'll work up the right side. Tries to make a pass there. That's broken up. Borak. Richter spins away from Borak. Tight turn there. Scott, 3-on-3 here. Here's McCabe. Oh, he was out front, had a good chance there. And now to go all the way back down for Miller. 2:10 left here in the third frame. Casey. He'll take the pass from Miller. Cross the red line. He'll wind. Gets into the O-zone. Makes a move around one guy. Gets behind the net. Tries to do a little flip up there. Get fancy with it here late in the game. Maresco to Casey. He'll wind. On his backhand. Wants to go around the hinge. Again, he's trying to do that same move now. He's tried it about 4 times tonight. Hasn't worked any of the 4. And they'll get the icing.
You know what they say, Liam? 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th time. Surely that's the charm.
If it doesn't work the first 4 times, maybe it'll work. So this will come all the way back down to the attacking zone for the Mountaineers. Minute 38 left on the clock. App State has the 4th line out there. And Beatson and Johnson are the 2 defensemen up top. And we'll go down. They're going to wave off icing due to a deflection. And Beatson can just settle and start a breakout here. Zucchini, he's got it. He can't break it out. Wachowski gives him a stick check there to keep it relegated to the defensive zone. Now here's Borak. Here's a good chance. Winding and scoring. Stevenson breaking the shutout for Wilcox with 1:14 left in the game. It's now 8-1.
Well, it's too little, too late. Unfortunately.
So Borak, who's been one of the higher energy players for Stevenson all game, seems like he's been one of the main guys pushing the attack. Finally gets one to go on the 20th shot of the game for Stevenson. Now here's Borak again. Bill line shoot, steered aside by Wilcox. Good stick save there. Now here's Richter. He'll get run into by Floyd. Floyd's got it. That's off a stick, goes high. Rogers. He'll just get it out to Beck. Beck finds Richter far side. Richter loses control of it. Here's Beck. Tries to make a move out front. Richter, oh, he just put it high. He had hat trick on his mind. And the net comes off as Richter runs into it.
What a save. That might be the best one of the day. Cunningham. And maybe it's because the Mountaineers know the game is over. Maybe it's because they know they're up by 7 goals right now. But this highest energy I've seen the Mustangs all game, and there's 44 seconds left. I mean, you have to wonder where this gear was earlier in the game.
It's a good sign. Luke Miller is back on the bench for the App State Mountaineers. He's not in the locker room. I doubt we see him on the ice anymore tonight, but it's a good sign that he is back with the team on the bench, not icing the shoulder or anything like that. Hopefully he's good to go tomorrow. As Seth Johnson makes a move. Oh, good chance there. Second opportunity. And he kept that out of the net. That puck did not move, and he's got it on the goal line.
And what a carry by Seth Johnson. My goodness. He made 3 little toe drag moves to beat every defender individually.
So that was the 90th shot of the game for App State. I can't believe I'm saying that. And here the draw is controlled by Stevenson. We have less than 30 seconds left in the game here. Rogers with it. He tries a centering feed. Here's Jones. His pass. Nobody home. Jason Beck on it for the Mountaineers. He'll stand up to a check. There's Rogers. He'll fire. Oh, man. Wachowski comes in and lays out Rogers as the game is now over. A little physical there at the end.
Again, Stevenson waited till the last minute of the game to show up. I mean, we didn't see the energy from them all night. I mean, wow, a little bit offended.
Well, that'll bring us to a close here. App State with an 8-1 victory. They will move on to face Coastal Carolina tomorrow. We will not have the call. I believe the league will have the call tomorrow night. We thank you for tuning in tonight. So long from Winston-Salem. I'm Liam Fellman.
And I'm Adam Persico. Have a good night, everybody.
Happy March. And we hope to see you guys cheering on the Mountaineers tomorrow night. Good night, everybody.